Ricky Salinas with Freedom Plumbers here for a septic inspection and pump out, as well as a pump chamber visual inspection. This is what we got. We have a home with a septic tank and a pump chamber that serves a septic system, which at this time I am not sure where the field would be, but pretty much based on the layout of the property and the outgoing discharge line, we would definitely be climbing upward and then spreading down. I'm not sure if the field has more than one field, but we definitely have enough room to have more than one. So I won't focus on that. We're going to focus on the septic tank and on the chamber. The septic tank is buried about 18 inches under grade and partially under a sidewalk. This is a sidewalk right here. This all is a concrete sidewalk. That's the lid, dual handle, pretty thick concrete, and not in a terribly bad shape. The bottom of the lid does have some minor concrete damage due to the gases that are in the septic tank, but it's not terribly bad or out of the common or out of the ordinary. Our outlet baffle, which is that right there, made out of PVC. It does have a little bit of a stronger grade than normal exiting, but that's not a terribly bad thing. It does not have an effluent filter, which is required by Health Department code in order to protect the pump chamber and the pump from suspended solids or fibers of sludge from exiting the tank and entering that chamber, furthermore accumulating on the bottom of the chamber and eventually get sucked into the pump itself, which in time will ruin the pump and also saturate the septic field. Again, that is in time. That being said, strongly recommended, have an effluent filter installed. Septic tanks have to be access ready. Newer septic systems are installed with 2 access risers, which are like that, but green plastic instead of concrete. That way they're not so bulky, okay? So one would go here and one would go on the inlet. And that is utilized for inspection and maintenance purposes. This septic tank has to be ready for either myself or a health department inspector to come in and take a look at the system by either measuring stick or measuring tube, and either make sure that it's ready for inspection or it's being utilized properly. We have to make sure that that water is actually full of life, meaning microbial life, in order to be able to treat your waste properly, so that by the time the wastewater exits this tank, it's actually treatable and able to be filtered nice and clean through that ground and goes right back into the water table. That's why it's so important that this pre-treatment tank is set up properly to treat your water and serve wastewater only in the name of effluent to exit the tank and go into that chamber. Okay, so with that being said, that's what we have for today. Oh, when it comes to the pump itself, we went ahead and tested it by running water from that hose into here for about half an hour, and we were able to hear the pump kick in and send in water all the way up. I heard that once. That was more than enough for me. Went ahead and turned off the water and took it away. So pump, at least at this time, is currently working properly. The only concern I really have with this chamber at this time is that the wires are a little bit messy, and that outlet or that inlet right there is not, it's not, what do you call it? I apologize. It's not watertight, if you want to put it that way. Those kinds of outlets and connections have to be watertight. But that aside, the system is good. I will recommend that in due time, eventually this pump does get inspected. If it hasn't inspected in the past 5 to 10 years, it's good to have it inspected, check your floats. But as of at this point in time, nothing looks out of the ordinary. It's actually a pretty good system. So at the bare minimum, this system is highly strongly advised to have 1, if not 2, access risers for your septic tank. 1 for the outlet, which is where we're at right now, and then 1 for the inlet, which would be over there. An effluent filter for regular maintenance and prevention of sludges exiting the tank and going into the pump chamber. And then have your system cleaned, your effluent filter, once a year. Aside from that, septic tank is sealed, no outside groundwater intrusion. The roof of the septic tank seems to be pretty good. Concrete is nice and thick. Everything else looks good. This system is good to use. I'm going to go ahead and put recommendations on my invoice, which is also my pumper report, on how to properly use this system so that the system serves you well. And that's what I got. My name is Ricky. I'm with Freedom Plumbers. My phone number is 703-789-2899 is my cell phone. Company is 703-895-4109. My email is ricky@freedomplumbers.com, and our website is freedomplumbers.com. That's what I got.